Hello all, welcome to the lecture on kinematic structure of machine tool as a part of machining principles and machine tool course of MACAUT BTech in Mechanical Engineering 3rd year 6th semester. The module number of this lecture is 12. Now, kinematic structure is an essential and the most creative part of any machine tool. It is required to transmit power and motions from the power sources to the tool work for machining work. A kinematic structure of any machine tool comprises a number of kinematic chains depending upon the number and type of tool work motions. Each kinematic chain again comprises a number of mechanisms as required. Different machine tools use different types of kinematic structures of different levels depending upon their functional characteristics. A designer of machine tools requires thorough knowledge about the types, composition, selection, and incorporation of kinematic structures. A kinematic system of any machine tool is finally composed of a large number of mechanisms of different types to transform and transmit motion and power. The mechanism is mostly used to convert rotary motion to rotary motion and rotation to translation. Therefore, the machine tool designer must be conversant with the types, configurations, working principle, and the applicability of different mechanisms available. In some machine tools, such as hobbing machine, differential mechanisms are essentially used for some specific requirement. Now, starting on with the lecture. This is the kinematic system of lathe. Here we can easily identify the headstock inside which speed gearbox is located. This is the feed gearbox. The tailstock is over here. Feed rod, lead screw, which is taking power from the headstock. This is the rack and pinion mechanism. Half nut mechanism, which is situated inside the apron box. This is the basic kinematic structure of lathe. Now, amongst the various type of lathe, center lathe are the most versatile and commonly used. This figure 4.1.1 schematically shows the typical kinematic system of a 12-speed center lathe. For machining in machine tool, the job and the cutting tool needs to be moved relative to each other. The tool work motion here are formative motions under which cutting motions and feed motions can come. Then auxiliary motions may be there, under which indexing motion, relieving motion, etc. may be placed. In typical lathe, cutting motion is attained by rotating the job. Here we can see this is the chuck. Then feed motion by linear travel of the tool, either axially for longitudinal feed in this direction for turning, or radially for cross feed in order to perform facing operation or to provide depth of cut. It is noted in general from the figure that the job gets rotation from the motor through the belt pulley system. clutch, and then the speed gearbox, which splits the input speed into a number of speeds by operating the cluster gears. These are the cluster gears. The cutting tool derives its automatic feed motion from the rotation of the spindle via the gear quadrant, feed gearbox, and then apron mechanism, where the rotation of the feed box is transmitted either to the pinion, which being rolled along the rack provides the longitudinal feed, this apron box along this rack pinion system, or to the screw of the cross slide for cross or transverse feed. While cutting screw threads, the half nut are engaged with the rotating lead screw to positively cause travel of the carriage, and hence the tool parallel to the lathe bed. This half nut mechanisms gets attached in order to make screw threads. The feed rate for both turning and threading is varied as needed by operating the Norton gear and the meander drive system existing in the feed gearbox. The range of the feeds can be augmented by changing the gear ratio in the gear quadrant connecting to the feed gearbox with the spindle. This one. We have some levers over here in order to change the corresponding speeds. As and when required, the tailstock is shifted along the lathe bed by operating the clamping bolt, and the tailstock quill is moved forward or backward or is kept locked in the desired location. The versatility or working range of the center lathe is augmented by using several attachments like taper turning attachments, thread milling attachments, coping attachments, etc. Now, coming on to kinematic system of a general purpose drilling machine. Here we can identify the speed gearbox and the feed gearbox, under which the feed reversal mechanism situated over here and speed reversal mechanism situated over here can be easily identified. Then there is spindle. This is the drilling tool. Cutting motion is in this direction. Okay. Then cutting motion is in this direction, rotating, and feed motion is in downward direction. This is the workpiece, the bed, the base is the column of the drilling machine. Now, kinematic system in any machine tool is comprised of chains of several mechanisms to enable transform and transmit motions from the power sources to the cutting tool and the workpiece for the desired machining action. The kinematic structure varies from machine tool to machine tool, requiring different type and number of tool work motion. Even for the same type of machine tool, say column drill machine, the designer may take different kinematic structure depending upon productivity, process capability, durability, compactness, overall cost, etc. Figure 4.2.10 schematically shows a typical kinematic system of a very general purpose drilling machine, that is a column drilling machine having 12 spindle speed and 6 feeds. The kinematic system enables the drilling machine the following essential works. First one being cutting motion. The cutting motion in drilling machine is attained by rotating the drill at different speeds. Like center lathe, milling machine, drilling machines also need to have a reasonably large number of spindle speed to cover the useful ranges of work material, tool material, drill diameter, machining and machine tool conditions. It is shown in figure 4.2.10 that the drill gets its rotatory motion from the motor through the speed gearbox. This is the spindle. From here, from this motor, from this gear arrangement, the spindle gets the rotary motion. For the same motor speed, the drill speed can be changed to any of the 12 speeds by shifting the cluster gears in speed gearbox. The direction of the rotation of the drill can be changed if needed by operating the clutch in the speed reversal mechanism shown in the figure. This is the speed reversal mechanism in order to change the motion or the direction of motion of the spindle. Now the second is feed motion. In drilling machine, generally both the cutting motion and the feed motion are imparted to the drill. Like cutting velocity or speed, the feed rate also needs varying depending upon the tool work material and other conditions of requirement. The figure visualizes that the drill receives its feed motion from the output shaft of the speed gearbox through the feed gearbox. This one, the output shaft from speed gearbox to the feed gearbox. The feed rate can be changed to any of the 6 rates by shifting the gears in the feed gearbox, and the automatic feed direction can be reversed when required by operating the speed reversal mechanism. The slow rotation of the pinion causes the axial motion of the drill by moving the rack provided on the quill. The upper position of the spindle is reduced in diameter and splined to allow its passing through the gear without hampering the transmission of its rotation. Then the third part is tool work mounting. The taper shank drills are fitted into the taper hole of the spindle either directly or through taper sockets, generally known as Morse taper. Small straight shank drills are fitted through a drill chuck having taper shanks. The workpiece is kept rigidly fixed onto the bed. Small jobs are generally held in vise, and large or odd-shaped jobs are directly mounted onto the bed by clamping tools using the T-slots made in the top and side surfaces of the bed. Kinematic system of milling machine. The kinematic system, comprising of a number of kinematic chains of several mechanisms, enables transmission of motion and power from the motor to the cutting tool for its rotation at varying speed and to the work table for its slow feed motion along X, Y and Z directions. In some milling machines, the vertical feed is given to the milling cutter. The more versatile milling machines additionally possesses the provision of rotating the work table and tilting the vertical milling spindle about X and or Y axis. They generally have a higher degree of freedom and are known as 4-axis or 5-axis milling machines. Figure 4.3.13 typically shows the kinematic diagram of the most common and widely used milling machine having rotation of single horizontal speed or arbor and 3 feed motions of the work table in X, Y and Z directions. The milling cutter mounted on the horizontal milling arbor receives its rotatory motion at different speeds from the main motor through the speed gearbox, which, with the help of cluster gear, splits the single speed into desirable large number of spindle speeds of 12, 18, 16, 24 speeds, etc. Power is transmitted to the speed gearbox through V-bells and a safety clutch as shown in the diagram. For the feed motions of the workpiece, independently the cutter speed, rotation of the input shaft of the gear box is transmitted to the feed gearbox through reduction by worm and worm wheel as shown. The cluster gears in the feed gearbox enables and provides a number of feed rates desirably. The feed of the job can be given both manually by rotating the respective wheels by hand as well as automatically by engaging the respective clutches. The direction of the longitudinal X, cross Y and vertical Z feeds are controlled by appropriately shifting the clutches. The system is so designed that the longitudinal feed can be combined with the cross feed or vertical feed, but cross feed and vertical feed cannot be obtained simultaneously. This is done for safety purpose. A telescopic shaft with universal joint at its end is incorporated to transmit feed motion from fixed position of the feed gearbox to the bed, which moves up and down, requiring the change in length and orientation of the shaft. The diagram also depicts that a separate small motor is provided for quick transfers of the bed and table with the help of an overrunning clutch. During the slow working feeds, the rotation is transmitted from the worm and worm wheel to the inner shaft through 3 equispaced rollers which get jammed into the tapering passage. During quick unworking work traverse, the shaft is directly rotated by that motor on line without stopping or slowing down the worm. Longer arbors can also be fitted if needed by stretching the overarm. The base of the milling machine is grouted onto the concrete floor or foundation. Now, coming on to kinematic system of a shaping machine. Here we can easily identify the lead screw, the ram. This is the lead screw, this is the ram, the total portion with which the cutting tool is connected. It gets a reciprocating motion, and then with the interaction of this tool and the workpiece, material removal occurs. Then there is the oscillating lever, the bull gear, the crank, the main motor, base, the change gear, pulley, etc. Bed. Now there is the schematic of the kinematic diagram of a shaping machine. The central large bull gear receives its rotation from motor, this motor, through belt pulley, clutch, speed gearbox, and then the pinion. The rotation of the crank causes oscillation of the link and thereby reciprocation of the ram, and hence the tool in straight path. Cutting velocity, which needs to be varied depending upon the tool work material, depends upon first the stroke length, S, the number of stroke per minute Ns, the quick return ratio QRR or Q, that is the ratio of the duration of the forward stroke and the return stroke. The benefit of quick return mechanism or ratio decreases when the stroke length S becomes less. The change in length of the stroke and position of the stroke required for different machining and are accomplished by respectively by adjusting the crank length, by rotating the bevel gear mounted coaxially with the bull gear, and by shifting the nut of the rotating the lead screw. The value of the number of strokes per minute is varied by operating the speed gearbox. The main or the horizontal feed motion of the work table is provided at different rate by using the ratchet valve system. The vertical feed or change in the height of the tool tip of the bed can be obtained either by lowering the tool or raising the bed by rotating the respective wheel as indicated in figure 4.4.5. Now the next topic is kinematic system of a slotting machine. Here the vertical slide holding the cutting tool is reciprocated by a crank and connecting rod mechanism. So here quick return effect is absent. The job to be machined is mounted directly or in a vise on the work table. Like shaping machine, in slotting machine also the fast cutting motion is imparted to the tool and the feed motion to the job. In slotting machine, in addition to the longitudinal and cross feeds, a rotary feed motion is also provided in the work table. The intermittent rotation of the feed rod is derived from the driving shaft with the help of a 4-bar linkage as shown in the kinematic diagram. It is also indicated how the intermittent rotation of the feed rod is transmitted to the lead screws for the 2 linear feeds and to the worm wheel for rotation of the work table. The working speed, that is the number of strokes per minute, may be changed if necessary by changing the belt pulley ratio or using an additional speed gearbox, whereas the feed motion are changed mainly by changing the amount of angular rotation of the feed rod per stroke of the tool. The direction of the feeds are reversed simply by rotating the tapered pawl of the pawl ratchet mechanism by 180 degree as done in shaping machine. Now this brings us to the end of the lecture. Thank you.